So today you're talking about the Cultish book?
Yeah, and I was looking a little bit through the cults, what it was recently, and what I find. Ibo Noah, who went viral online in 2025, claiming that God told him a global flood would begin on December 25, 2025. And many people start build arcs.
That's crazy.
And do you know that on TikTok he has over 1.3 million followers, and plus around 380,000 followers who send him money. That's crazy. And on my YouTube, I have only 36 followers.
That's totally unfair.
Oh, that's so crazy. Today we are going to talk with you what is a cult, what kind of cults exist, why people get trapped to the cult, and if you have friends or relatives who is in the cult, please share your story in comments. I believe that for others it would be useful information also. And mostly all information what we will talk about would be from this book Cultish by Amanda Montell. And first let's make clear what is a cult. A cult is a group of people that strongly follows a leader, belief, or idea, often in a way that is extreme, controlling, or unhealthy. A cult usually demands total loyalty, controls members' behavior, thoughts, or relationships, discourages questions or living, may isolate members from family or society. The group was considered a cult because members were not allowed to talk to outsiders. At the beginning of the book, authors talk about two girls. First is Tasha, and she is belong to the cult what is called 3HO, Healthy, Happy, Holy. Second one, Alicia, and she is belong to the CrossFit. What is similar between these two cults? It's that they both have something common between the people inside of the group. For example, CrossFit or women in this group, they wearing Lululemon brand. In 3HO, in that organization, they drink a lot of tea, and it's a certain brand, yoga or yogi. It is actually supposed to be famous big brand. And that's one of the signs of the cult when in the group it's requires some certain clothes of the same brand, or it could be required drinking the same tea. But the most important what is specific about cult is language. And here's another example. Amanda, after this book, she had a friend, and her friend was alcoholic. So she is attend to the group of anonymous alcoholic, and it was helped her a lot. But after few months, when she meet with Amanda, she starts speak strange way. For example, I've been halting all day. I caught a resentment at work, but trying not to future trip. Ooh, let's just focus on dinner. First thing first, as they say. I must have looked at her as if she had three heads. Halt, future trip, caught a resentment. What on earth was she saying? For example, if you would be stand next to the people from the one cult, you would have no idea what they're talking about. This one of the part of isolation you from the outside world, because this specific language can understand only you and people from the cult. I just think about this. You were invited to join to some organization. You show up and you're not certain do you want to join or not. But you see that other people, they're different from you. They have different clothes, they have different haircut, and you for sure doesn't want to change your clothes for the different one. And you don't want to change your hair. But when you inside of this organization and you, for example, say, oh, that's a nice gym. We say box. Oh, sorry, box. Oh, and there I see your kitchen. We called it Nutrilab. Oh, yes, sorry, my mistake, Nutrilab. What is here? Is it laundry? We called it Fiber Lab. Who is that man? It's all the members. Oh, yes, all the members. Because what you first change? Right. First, you're willing to change your language. And that's where is the hook of the cult. First, you change your language because it's the easiest, right? You came and it's a new space for you, and it seems so little, just like called, for example, that's not laundry, but it's fiber lab, or it's like not kitchen, but it's neutral lab, for example. And this is real words from the cult, what is called Heaven's Gate. But we will talk about this cult a little bit later. Language is what is make feel you special, what is make you belong to somewhere. And that's another hook why you get trapped in the cult. So let's talk a little bit more about why people trapped to the cult. First, how we mentioned before, the same language, when you feel that you are belong to some group of people. In some ways, this password language even became you feel upper than others people. Next, it's a feeling that your life matter, because cult give you some goal on purpose in your life. It could be connected with aliens. Yeah, the Heaven Gate, what we have, it could be with racism. It would be another cult what we will talk with you about. It could be about oils that are, hello, if you're watching me. And other many cults, they usually have goal and purpose what they would be happy to sharing with you. Another reason is what I really like this quote: flexibility without structure isn't flexibility at all. It's just chaos. Someone have to tell us what to do. In the book, it was example one girl and her parents were millennials, and they were taught her that she can be with whoever she wants. She can be artist, she can be musician, she can be teacher, professor, whoever she wants. And for her it was hard, because she was that kind of person who was waiting that someone tell her what she have to do. Because it's much easier to read when someone tell you, okay, you will go study biology and you will work in the lab. So that's another way why people went to the cult, because in the cult they usually very control, so they tell you what to do. Another reason what is very important for the cult is make people special and understood. Personalized attention, inspirational buzzwords, the calls for vulnerability, the you just by existing. And again, different set of language tactics that gets people to feel dependent on the leader. Life outside the group doesn't feel possible anymore. Language convinces people to act in ways that are completely in conflict with their former reality, ethics, and sense of self. The goal is to make your people feel like they have all the answers, while the rest of the world is not just foolish, but inferior. When you convince someone that they are above everyone else, it helps you both distance them from outsiders and also abuse them. Because you can paint anything from physical assault to unpaid labor to verbal attacks as special treatment reserved only for them. Of course, that cult get you, it's supposed to match many stuff, right? For example, are you lost somewhere or no? Are you feel lonely or no? Are you in the dangerous or no? What is your education? Here in the book, it was some psychologist who made the experiment, and he find the connection between your education and how easy you get to the cult, right? Because of the more person educated, then more he is check information, then less he believe in some stuff, and more he is willing to check information, and more he has critical thinking. But of course, it doesn't matter how smart you are, how strong you are, how is good emotional you feel, you still can get to the cult because you just can't believe. It can be just some friend or relative who bring you to the cult. You just trust this person, so you wouldn't doubt in the information what they will give you in the cult. And we all people, and it's impossible all the time to control the situation, to check plenty of the links in internet, just like to be sure is it cult or no. And also, cult is not always bad. And in this book, it's many examples of the different cults, and we will look through some of them. And from the very dangerous cults to not so much dangerous cults. Also, cults can be even useful for some people. Friend of the author who was alcoholic, and she came to the anonymous alcoholics, and there is also cult, right? Because they're controlling them, they're changing their life, they have this specific language there, right? They have like some certain rituals, and in some ways there's a cult, but this cult is for the good, right? Because we have many cults in our life, and we should understand that some of them very dangerous, but some of them do the good. So let's talk a little bit about different types of cults. Have you heard about Branch Davidian community who was attacked by FBI? They had 51-day standoff. Afterwards ended with tear gas caused fire. And how is the result? It was death of 80 members of that cult. And it was very bad cult, but the most point was that when FBI was so aggressively attacked this cult and caused death of 80 people, first public was not so happy with this, but when they seen in the newspaper that it was cult, they're just like, well, but it was cult. And we see that if it was cult, our attitude to the certain news already changed. Imagine if it would be some Protestant church, for example, right? Or Lutheran church. It's like religion, right? And our attitude to the religion different than if it would be cult, right? But because FBI was thinking kind of the same how is the public, maybe FBI could find some another solution to the situation. If it would be some Baptist or Mormons or Protestant church, probably FBI will find some another solution, right? Not just like tear gas and that it would be very dangerous to the people, right? But because of the cult, who care? The most reason why it's happened because people doesn't know what is a cult, because cult can be something where it's like a total control and it's caused deaths, what we will next talk with you about, or it can be some cancer group, right? It was doctor who had patients with cancer and he tried to encourage them, and that's what it saves them life, and that's cult also. The cult what we will talk with you, it's Jonestown, what it was located in Guinea. Jim Jones built this cult in the 1970s, and he says that it would be utopian, equal society, free from racism and injustice. In reality, it became a place of control and fear. In November 1978, in USA, Congressman Leo Ryan visited Jonestown to investigate abuse. He and others were killed while trying to leave. After that, Jim Jones ordered mass suicide. Over 900 people died. Many were forced to drink poison. Children were poisoned first. What we know about Jim Jones is that he was a very charismatic leader and also very, very talented speaker. And when it was some people came to him, he was kind of switched to their language. He even was used the same words what they were used. For example, if you will talk about your village, he will be very excited to talk about this subject. And also, if you will some certain verse use, he will start use the same verse. He will give you this feeling that you are special, that you are understandable, and that you are not alone. When his people shot Lee Ryan, he understood that US forces will soon show up and killed him. And another reason why he decided to kill whole cult also, it's because people in this cult, they was turned against of him. They tried to escape. They didn't like live there. They tried to escape. They wasn't happy to be there. So Jim Jones, he understood that it's time, and he did great speech that U.S. government, they will come and kill off all them. And we should understand that people there, they was isolated from outside world, and they didn't know any news from the world and what's going on there. So mostly of them believed to their leader. And one woman was against of him, and she was suggested to run to some another place where she was suggested to run to the Russia. But Jim Jones said that he wouldn't do it, and without him they couldn't survive. So they kind of believe of this, but mostly they were forced to drink poison. So 900 people with kids, they were died. Next cult called Heaven's Gate. Probably you heard about this cult. It also was massive suicide in 1997. Heaven's Gate believes that Earth was about to be recycled. Human bodies were just temporary containers. True believers could ascend to a higher non-human level. A spaceship was following the Hale-Bopp comet to take them away. So a man whose name is Applewhite, he was obsessed with the Star Trek. And he decided to make cult. And even inside of the cult, they would speak certain language. And this language was borrowed from that movie. For example, how I said before, Nutra Tab is kitchen, Fiber Lab is laundry, who is made this cult is all the members. It was a couple men there. In this cult, they were believed that Earth about to be recycled, and said that they can survive only to take poison, and their human bodies in temporary containers, and they need following to the this comet Hale-Bopp. So they need to take a poison, and that their souls would follow this comet, and in some another planet will reach some next level of their soul. Members believed they had to abandon their human identity, cut ties with family, live celibate lives. Some men were even castrated. Dress the same, speak the same, think the same. So, how I said previously, you have to do everything the same. You are not different members, you are whole body. So you have to do everything the same. In March 1997, 39 members committed mass suicide. They believed that their souls would leave their bodies and board the spaceship. They died by taking poison lying in beds. All wore black clothing, Nike sneakers. Only the difference between Jonestown and Heaven's Gate, that suicides that first it was no kids died in the Heaven's Gate, and second that it was kind of volunteering way because people there, they would delusionally believe in the alien. Next, what is after talk about, it's Scientology. Who has friends from Scientology? I have. And let's talk what Scientologists believe. Humans are immortal spiritual beings called Thetans. Deviants have lived many past lives and carry traumatic memories from this life and previous ones. These incomes are believed to cause emotional and physical problems. Why our character Kathy was attended to the Scientology? First, it was about the title. Because Scientology, there is science, so we trust science usually. And that's one of the reasons why she came to this cult. Scientology promise you that they can solve all your problems, but you need to pay for this. They usually has levels, and when you pass one level, you go into the second, to third, fourth, fifth. And our Cultish, she tried to solve her problem, and she reached the maximum level. What they have is called Dianetic Clear. But when she got to the maximum level, they said, they reveal more levels, and they said that she actually only at the beginning and she need to pay more, and that to reach others levels it would be already cost for example not $5,000 but already $100,000. She met with one man and his name Greg, and he was creative director in McDonald's, and he had some problems, so he was keen to Scientology that they will help him. And after some time he was made suicide because he was lose absolutely everything what he had. He lost his job, he lost his family, he lost everything what he had, and that's it. First, what you learn in Scientology is Wag law. It's a law how to lie to people who is outside of the church. Another reason why Kathy annoyed by Scientologists is because you have to check every word what you read or listen. For example, you need to open your dictionary and look what it means word of, or what it means in, or apple. Like all these words you need to look in the dictionary what it means, and that was very annoying to hear. And if you're curious who from celebrity joined to the Scientologists, it's Tom Cruise, John Travolta, and Chrissy Alley. And next chapter is about MLM, multi-level marketing, and that you would know multi-level marketing is illegal in USA. Who has friends or relatives who is connected with MLM, please share their story in the comment. I believe that it will help to some people. For whole history of MLM, Federal Trade Commission was closed only one of them, and it was called Holiday Magic, but they couldn't close the big one. It's Amway, and when they tried to close Amway and they were failed, they couldn't close the others, because others was saying like, okay, but why you want to close us if you wasn't closed Amway? First, close Amway, and afterwards it would be reasonable to close us. So after case with Amway, it starts to be very hard to control other MLM also. That's why we have so many MLM in our country. And when I was reading this book about MLM, I was so shocked how here was writing so many information about this. And also I have a couple friends who is in that era, and they exactly saying the same words, and they believe in the same stuff what is in this book. It was so shocked because it's exactly the same words. That's amazing. The main target of all MLM is the white woman who is unemployed and sitting at home with few children. Second, third category of people is also vulnerable category of people who is immigrants or who is need money but they can't work so far. So what is mostly MLM promise? That there is no base salary and you can earn how much you want. It's not a work and you're not employer. It's everything depend of you. And if you in some way can make money and reach your goals or goals of the company, so it's not the organization wrong, but it's something wrong with you and you don't try as hard as possible. So what is MLM promise to you? That you would have small commission, business opportunity, and you would be entrepreneur businessman. So that already sounds different, right? Usually in MLM there are different levels and you need parcel of them that to reach the maximum one. It's called or diamond something or something else. It's for sure it's like some motivated would be title of this level. But right away I will tell you that usually in MLM successful only 1% of the people. 99% of the people they failed. The system is promised to work no matter what. As long as you pay the buy-in fee, follow the company's path precisely, and don't ask too many questions, the American dream itself will be yours. Usually MLM made you feel special and chosen, and they usually make some events where you need to buy ticket to that event or pay for something or like maybe like sell some amount of their products, their goods, and then you, anyway, it would be some condition, and then you can came to that event when everybody is motivated, celebrated, and very happy, and show you your goals more clear. You might end up just buying all the inventory personally and eating the cost with your eyes fixed firmly on the price. And usually in this event, it usually shows that there is a level and that people they could reach it, so you can do it too. So you likely choose to ignore your damages, forget the mass, and hold out, especially since you were emphatically promised a big payday at the end of all this. Plus, everyone above and beneath you is counting on you to make money. If you give up now, you'll disappoint your diamonds wet. You'll disappoint your family, and your family, you'll disappoint God. You won't be a girl boss anymore. You'll be nothing. Under that kind of pressure, things can get undeniably cultish. So how you can see in MLM, it's the same like a cult. They usually control you. They usually have a specific language there. They has this weekly calls to each other, like to see how are you, and pressure because everybody kind of believe in you and you're successful. So you have to do it. And let's don't forget that when you earn just small amount of commission on the top leaders, so they with your efforts, with your power, money, time, energy, they make much bigger money, and they exist only because of you. And a little bit about Amway. More than any other MLM family, Amway wields unbelievable power, not just over people directly involved with the company, but over the entire American political system. The man who was created Amway It was Rich, who was the father-in-law of Donald Trump's Secretary of Education. And next, what is after talk about? It's kind of positive cults. It's workout cults. And what was interesting is that 1950, medical community didn't recommend exercise for women, right? It was only 80 years ago. 1960, it was already good for everyone. And 70s, 80s, with invented sport bra, start more exercise. So until in 80s, where it's like women start do more exercise. The World and International put exercises in a transcendental headspace, but just for the length of a class. If it gets to be too much, followers are free to tap out at any time without life-ruining exit costs. To go back to the kink analogy, fitness studios have their followers' consent. At least they are supposed to. So we have a huge difference between regular cults and workout cults. Usually then when you show up to the orange cereal, right, it's more for competition there. And when you show up, usually your instructor can be very demanded, very control you. It's usually like can be use some certain language there. It looks like a cult because when you show up, it could be like it could be like certain clothes with others you need to wear, right? For example, if it's yoga pilates, you need leggings, maybe like some certain brand. It's like some specific language. It's like usually saying what you have to do, what you don't have to do. Also could be cut you from outside world, right? But it's everything only for certain period of time. It's like usually 1 hour, 2 hours, and then you again back to your normal life, and you are start to become yourself, and your behavior acting is like you. All right, so it is influence, it is cult, but just like for certain period, and doesn't change you. We prefer went to the workout classes, right? Not just like at home, because of course it's like huge motivation. And another reason is like connection, because it is became huge problem of the loneliness in our world, because we with the gadgets it's cut all regular connection what we're doing in the flesh. So we try to find another way for connection, and here we can make our body better, our health improved, our mental health also improved, plus we talk to other people around us, right? It's like, I mean, it's like I can continue to talk about this. It's like huge pluses of this. So it is, you can say that it is called, but I mean, it's called kind of for 1 hour and afterwards, and you can change it. You can leave this, for example, pure barre, scent box, orange cereal, and others. It's all cost, but you can easily leave them, and it wouldn't be damage to your wallet and to your life. It wouldn't be any threat, and so that's the main difference. And next chapter, what is after talk about, it's social media cults, because we can say that they are kind of like cults, right? Because they all the time try to control us through the notifications, what is always pop up in our phone. And usually if it's like Instagram or Facebook or some other social media, what is main goal that you all the time was scrolling. So they usually read what you need and show it to you. And also that after mentioned that when it was started to be Instagram, it was not friends or connects, it was followers. And followers, it's like what usually you have in the cult, right? So yeah, we all, or mostly of us, were actually all. If it's someone that say we all came from the space, we all I don't know what else example. Well, we all do something like generalized. It's also to the cult more belong. So if you hear that we all came to the space, we all have some like karma, what we need to do something with it. So it would be another little sign that probably it's cult also. So mostly people used phones, and we mostly of us depends on the phones. That's how other accounts, what is not so good, they can catch us and try to sell something to us or to invite somewhere. Like it's many traps in the social media. So what is other people they use very often of this. Cult is usually you need to check information to understand is it cult, it's not cult, and in general all information what is somebody give to you better to check, but of course nobody of us would be do it all the time, right? Yeah, but what is interesting in this book that after all this like information text after put notes, it's like links to everything what she was right about cults, about MLM, what she find information and other stuff. It's all at the end of this book. It is how it's supposed to be a book about cults, I think. And Amanda, she also kind of from the cult because her father, he was belong to some cult, I forgot already name, and he was what it was interesting, he was very patient about science, and he was all the time trying to sneak out from the community where they were lived to the college, and there more information and learn about biology. I guess something with biology it was connect. It was tried that nobody in the cult would know about this because he would have trouble. Right, and after some time, he was get a certain degree, so it was nice, and that's what another reason why Amanda decided write this interesting book, what I was really enjoying. I want to finish this video with a quote what I was really liking this book. A cult is like a porn. You know it when you hear it. So I think that's true. I would kind of like continue talk about this book because it's so much information. Advice for you, just like buy this book and you will find much more information what I gave to you, and it's like amazing book. Like, and I spent 2 weeks to read these books because it was so much information. I was need time to process this information, but I was very curious about cults because of my friends, my relatives. I know many people who joined to the cults, and to some of them, it was influence in the bad way, to some of them in the good way, but mostly to the bad way, and still some of them in the cult. Usually it's very useless if you say that like, hey, they're wrong, or you're wrong, or you need to run from them because person need usually by himself like find a way to run from the cult, and first he need to understand that this is cult, right? And understand he can only with information, at least it would be some bonus for him. Thank you that you watch my video. Please share in your comments what do you think about this book. What is your relatives, friends, or other people who you know, is they still in the cult or no? Please share your story. I believe that it would be very interesting to read, and see you on my next video.